earthquake here and there, so we all are aware of it. But are you prepared for emergency, Mr. Ross? Do you know what you need to do? According to Asian Disaster Reduction Center, Japan is earthquake-prone area due to the geological formation with plate boundaries of the Pacific Plate, the Philippine Sea Plate, the Eurasian Plate, and the North American Plate. Back in March 2011, we had massive earthquake, and it was the most frightening experience I've ever had in my life. I was visiting my family, and luckily I got home the day before the earthquake. When it hit my area, I was at the drugstore with my mother. As soon as we walked towards to the car, I felt dizzy, and my eyes were kind of blurry. At the moment, we had no idea what was going on because it was so surreal. It wasn't that my body was dizzy or my eyes were blurry. It was the earthquake. People started to scream and nobody could stand still. As soon as earthquake stopped, we hurried back to the house. Then I started to prepare for the post-disaster like we always do. My mother is half paralyzed, so I immediately thought that I'm the one need to be strong and protect ourselves. Surprisingly, I was super calm and focused. So how could I stay calm in an unusual situation? It's because I was prepared. We have disaster reduction drills and exercise to review the effectiveness of disaster management system to ensure quick and appropriate emergency operations and to enhance public awareness through wide-range stakeholders participation all over in Japan. When my family and I had our own exercise for natural disaster. When electric goes down, the first thing we do is gather the candles, radio, flashlight, and batteries around the house. Usually we store everything in living room storage so it's easy to grab them. Then pour water in the bathtub as much as we can. We can use the water for cooking, flushing the toilet, or other things in case water supply stops. Meanwhile, we cook rice over the gas stove and make rice bowl and whatever is in the fridge. Once electric goes down, we can keep much food in the refrigerator, so it's better to cook them and keep them in containers. We usually do all this act within 1 hour. If your stove is electric, you can get the portable gas stove in hardware store for in case of emergency. It's only like $30. Maybe someone will think that, how can you cook in a crazy situation? But if you have water and food, you can survive for a while without getting any help. We're out of electric for about 2 weeks, and our area couldn't get any supply for a long period of time. Supermarkets were empty, nothing on the shelf, so sadly we couldn't get anything at all for a while. We wanted to go to the other supermarket to see if they have anything, but we couldn't get gas because all the gas station was closed, so we couldn't go anywhere. However, we survived with not much help or not much problem because of the water and food we prepared. Another thing you should do is prepare emergency backpack. Usually it is hard to find feminine hygiene supplies, diapers, and toilet paper during post-disaster. So it'll be nice if you have 1 pack each at least. If you have some old t-shirt, underwear, and sweatpants you don't wear, keep them and put them in emergency backpack. It's for emergency, so obviously it doesn't matter if it's worn out or not. Also, it's always good if you and your family decide where everybody needs to be at once disaster hit your area. There were a lot of deaths involved because people were looking for their family members instead of evacuating themselves to safe spot during the Tohoku earthquake. It could be avoided if each family had decided their safe spot ahead of time. We cannot predict when disaster happens, that's why we should be prepared. Japan has earthquakes almost all the time, and it's hard to ignore, especially after the big earthquake in 2011. You can get emergency kit in hardware store, convenience store, and pretty much anywhere in Japan. U.S. Embassy website shows that what you should keep in your house in case of emergency. They have list of emergency supplies they recommend. I print them out for all of you, so please take a look and be prepared for emergency. It's always better to be prepared than regret not doing anything at all. Thank you. You're